Well, good evening, Bacolod. You know, I must confess, this is my third trip to Bacolod, but for the last 25 years, I have always wanted to be a Bacolodian. Ask me why. Because you people are so sweet. This is a country of sugar and smiles. Is that correct? And so one day, maybe when I retire, I'll come and settle down in the green fields of Bacolod. And you can sell me a memorial lot when I come here. Because if I come here, this is where I'll die. And the other thing, which is the truth, selling is not telling. It's a cliche, but I agree with it. Because everywhere I go, for the 30 years that I was selling, and for the last 7 or 8 years that I've been teaching people how to sell, every time I ask them to sell, they start to make a pitch. They start to make a presentation. They start saying how good they are. They start saying how good their product is, how cheap their product is, etc. Hello? I don't want to hear that. I want to be happy. I want you to serve me. I don't want you to tell me how good you are. Okay, if you're good, fine. Prove it. Diba? So most salespeople, all they do is pitch, present, push. Pitch, present, push. Ay, pagod na ako. I must tell you. Because today the world has changed, ladies and gentlemen. It has changed massively. It's not 1965. It's not even 1975. Today, everyone is smarter than you think they are. Everyone can get the information that you think you have. Everyone can compare. Even a 15-year-old boy can choose a car that he likes. You don't have to pitch, present, or push. Does that make sense to you? So selling is not telling. Selling may be prospecting, but selling is also not always closing. These are cliches. The truth is what that lady said, the one who got a payum from the Mumbai. Is it good payum? That's the truth. Now, what do I mean by influencing? You can influence people if you're big and powerful. You can influence people if you are a leader. You can influence people if you're a parish person, a priest, or a preacher. You can only influence people if they find good in what you're recommending. Does that make sense? I cannot change this cameraman's mind unless in the core of his heart, in the depths of his heart, he believes that whatever I am proposing is going to be good for him. If I influence him otherwise, unethical influence, sooner or later, he's going to turn around and rally against me. He's going to return my product. He's going to call me bad names. He's never going to push my branding or anything because he'll keep cursing me for influencing him in the wrong way, into a wrong product, into a wrong service, into a wrong investment. So influence must be such that it must provide value. It must make the person happy, not just for one instance, but for a long time. Yeah? That is selling today. Ethical influence, gently, intelligently, towards long-term happiness. That's it. No matter what you sell. You could be selling elephants from Thailand. You could be selling payum from India. You could be selling memorial lots. You must influence in such a way that that person is long-term happy with what you have made him invest in. Simple as that, no? Now, your question is, Raju, tama ka. Tama ka. Paano na? How do I do this? Here's the deal. Am I okay so far? Is my English very fast? Is my English very slow? Yes, it is very slow. No? It's very boring. Matanda kasi. How about my Tagalog? Pwede na? Pwede na. Very good. Okay, here's the deal. I have, of all the books that I read, Appreciative Inquiry, Leadership, Daniel Goleman, blah, blah, blah. I met a professor 2 years ago, 2011. Bombay din siya, I'm sorry, I was a little partial. But he is a coach to Jack Welch of GE. He is a professor at Harvard of marketing. He's a single man in his late 60s, and all he does is go around the world helping people, consulting people. That's his mission in life. He was here in 2011 in New World Hotel Makati, and there were about 500 people just like you, all CEOs of the top corporations in the Philippines. So he wrote a book called Value Selling. Ito ng kwento galing sa libro niya. He said, sometime in the 80s, many of the mills in Northeast America, if you know that America became an industrial country in the 60s, correct? Very powerful, very good, cars were being made, planes were being made, bridges were being built. They were making lots of good stuff. So in the Northeast area, below New York, all the way down to Florida, there were lots of mills, textile mills, making bed sheets, blankets, runners, towels, name it, they were making it. But mid-80s to late 80s, China came in. Big dragon. Yeah? There was something wrong in the country, and they were selling really cheap goods across the world, and it killed the world. And you know it, some of you may be business people. I got killed. Lots of people got killed. So those industries in the US, they began to die. Why? Simple. Price competition. If what US was selling for $10, China began to sell for 3, 2, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, whatever the structures were in the US could not survive. Many industries started to close. Today, if you go to Detroit, Detroit is a ghost town. Simply because it died in the revolution of China. So there was this particular industry, textiles, tela. They were making really good tela in the US, and they were supplying to lots of bedsheet makers, hotels, and you name it, and they were doing really good. But because of the advent of China, the industry began to close. They began to go in the red every single day. So they called in a consultant. His name was not Raju Mandia, his name was Mel. With Boise Mel. So they called in a consultant, and the consultant said, let's say, we cannot fight on the price level. Let's agree to that. Yeah, we cannot beat China because we are an ethical country. We pay good wages, we have great structures, and we make a fantastic product. We believe in that. What can we do? So the consultant they hired was not a sales manager or a marketing specialist. They got a professor from college. Ang specialty niya, ang focus niya, ang forte niya, learning. How do people learn? Not selling. He never sold anything in his life. But he was a great teacher. You with me? So what he did, he called his 50 salespeople. He said, come on here. We have 6 months to survive. We cannot fight on price. No way we can beat China because they are 70% below us. Here's what I want you to do. All 25 of you, 25 salespeople, I'm sorry, all 25 of you, I want you to go every day to your qualified customers, your existing customers, your old customers. Go to them every day and find out what are they doing. What do they do with the tela they buy from us? How do they convert it? What is their process? What is their business model? Who do they sell to? The person they sell to, what does he do with that? Where does it go? At the end of it, at the retail level, how much is it sold for? Just go. So these 25 salespeople, all of them across the world, some compensation, some salary, Every day they would take their bag and go to customers. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, walang resulta. Nothing was happening. They were getting really frustrated. They said, we are tired of asking our customers what they want. What are they doing? How do they do it? What do they sell for? What is their process? What is their business? Who do they sell to? We are pagod na. Yeah? But the CLO, the Chief Learning Officer, the professor, they said, go back again. 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, one of the salesmen comes back. He says, I understand my customer's business more than ever. I've been selling to them for the last 20 years, but now I understand them more than ever, more than ever, more than ever. And now I have made some deals with them without dropping my price to such a level that they can buy something from me because I'm filling their need exactly. It's a perfect match. It's a match made in heaven. So one salesman was successful, 2 salesmen were successful. Eventually, they learned so much about the customer, it was as if sila yung customer. 6 months later, the business, the textile company came out of the red into the black. And post that, for another 7 or 8 years, the business began to improve for one reason. Those 25 salespeople had begun to fill the real, true, authentic, useful needs of their customer, not at the first stage of the value chain, but way beyond and way behind it, far ahead, until they were able to retail it happily, where the retail customer also was happy with the product coming from the whole value chain. That is a powerful story. It's a true story. And it was a research story. And the theory that the professor laid down is called value creation selling. Influencing authentically with truth to fill the need of the end customer. In such a way that you don't worry about competition, that you don't worry about closing, you don't worry about objections, you don't worry about price competition. Does that make sense? Now, you're saying, Raju, paano still? How many of you have a trusted doctor? Raise your right hand. You have a doctor that you go to often. Raise your right hand, keep it up. You like a doctor and you go to him often, no matter what your sickness is. Why do you do that? Because you trust that doctor. And what does a good doctor do before he prescribes you any medication? When you go to him, he first knows you. He knows your history. When you enter his office, he says, Kamusta na Peter? Kamusta na Mel? Kamusta na Sir Charles? Right? He sits you down, he has a conversation with you. He still doesn't prescribe. He still doesn't pitch or present the medicine that's in his closet or the medicine that he knows. He asks you. He takes your blood pressure. He takes your blood test. He checks your urine. He takes your pulse. He takes your temperature. He doesn't still give you a solution. Why? Because the solution that he wants to give you must be value creating, must provide you a service and a solution. It must heal you for a long time. That's a good doctor. And I tell you today that the business of selling, if you want to be a great salesperson, you want to create a great sales team, you need to take the philosophy of the doctor, a good doctor, and put it into your process of selling. So I want to leave this for you. And I want to tell you that today the Philippines is at a beautiful stage. When I say beautiful, I've been here 30 years. I was here when President Marcos was around and Lady Imelda was there. I was here when people rallied and walked the streets of Ayala. I was here when there was a government in Manila Hotel and there was a government in Malacanang too at the same time. I was here when Cory was being coup d'etat many times. I was here during the brownouts. I was here during Arab days and GMA days, and now I'm here during Pinoy days. And I have to tell you, Today, Philippines is on the verge of a takeoff. By the year 2020, this country will be as good as Taiwan and Singapore. Trust me, in terms of wealth, in terms of happiness, in terms of satisfaction, quality of living is going to grow. Your city, Bacolod, gosh, it's beautiful. The streets are wide. The malls that are being built are like America. I don't know what you guys do, but suerte kayo talaga. So, I want to leave you with that, and I want to wish you success. I want to wish you happiness. I want to tell you that I wish I were in your shoes. People who are selling properties. I never sold properties. I bought crazily. I sold other stuff. But this is my profession, what I do. This is my passion. But there is much more wealth. There's much more success. Tama yung first na sagot, no? Much more success in what you do. Material success. There's also spiritual and emotional success. But material success is important, and this is where you'll find it in this industry. If you professionalize it, and you do it smartly, and if you do it for 10, 30. Oh. So, I'm going to skip the rest of the slides because they're in your handouts. And Sir Charles is going to make a much more better a presentation as far as data is concerned, as far as investment features are concerned. Let me leave you with a quote. Many people take no care of their money till they come nearly to the end of it, and others do just the same with their time. Ibig sabihin, do not waste your time. Chase your dreams. Follow your passion. Grow wealthy. There is no philosophical book that says you shouldn't grow wealthy. It says you shouldn't become greedy, but to become wealthy and to be happy, that's your birthright. No? So, hallelujah, mabuhay, and good luck. I don't know how you say, God bless you in Bacolodian, pero can you translate for me? Good luck and God bless. Salamat po.